What do you have to say to the people who are trying to get it banned from professional ice hockey?
Just watch what happens when there's not enforcers.
It's an expanded role, to be honest. They're there to support the team. You could be probably the most loyal team member you've got, really, to be honest. He's going to be the first one in when stuff's getting a bit hairy, when somebody on the other team's just taking it a bit too far with the hits, maybe some cheap shots behind the play that the ref doesn't see.
He was just getting bundled about by other teams' players, and there was no one there to step in and stick up for him and allow him the time and space he needs to play and do his role.
With a right, and a right, and a right, and a right. Tasker's going to town. Sen with a right. They're connecting like crazy. Tasker with another right. The jersey starts to come off. Sen with a left. Tasker with a right and another right. He holds on to the back of Sen. Gets up with another right.
Yeah, I'd say refs have a hard enough job as it is. I mean, there's only 2 of them on the ice and 10 of us all at once, so they can't watch all of us all the time. So if anything happens away from the puck, they don't see it. If a fight breaks out, an enforcer would be there to basically dominate that for your team, just to keep your star players, your smaller players especially, just keep them safe, just to make sure they've got the backup they need if something actually happened.
Every kid wants to be Gretzky, playing for the Stanley Cup, wanting to score that goal. But I think they understand their skills at a certain point, and it's the only way they're going to make it to the league, and they're willing to take that chance because they just want to play.
There has been an increase in concussions, but it's not at all to do with the enforcer. What it is actually in fact to do with is the new padding. So the new shoulder pads are a lot more bigger built and heavier built than the old shoulder pads, which were very sort of thin, cardboard thin type things. So when you're throwing hard body checks, and you're throwing hard body checks towards the chest area, then you kind of use your new shoulder pads like a battering ram, and that causes the head to go back, and that's sort of what's been causing these concussions. But I do think it is a concern, yes.
The rate of concussion in hockey compared to, say, like the NFL, like American football, is so low because most of hockey, you're wearing lighter helmets, lighter gear, you're hitting at higher speeds, but the weight of the things you're wearing is much less, and the players are generally of a smaller build, so they don't suffer the same kind of impact. So I don't think, in general, it'll discourage that many people.
Without contact, it's just like football, isn't it?
Actually, I mean, I've already damaged one shoulder, the rotator cuff. I can't play racket sports anymore except for table tennis. So yeah, I'm only 22 and I've already got one long-lasting injury, so I probably will end up regretting some of my decisions for playing sport, but it's too much fun. There's no way I could say no. It is. It's not essentially good with enforcer. It's very underhand. It's not a classy role to occupy on a team. It's kind of the brute force is not designed to be an intelligent role. Like perfectly capable hockey players are always the ones who are the enforcer, obviously, because you've got to make the team anyway. You can't just fight. But when you're in there and there's it's essentially about security, which is why policing feels like the right word. It's about providing a sense of security for the other players on the team, knowing they're not going to get, hit with a stick or checked directly through the back, because that stuff's dangerous and it's bad for you. But if you've got someone there you know is going to back you up, if you try and challenge that other player who did that to you, if you know you've got some giant guy stood behind you who's going to take the punch for you, the other team aren't going to do it. They're not going to attack you in that way.
We've had quite physical players before that will lay clean, strong hits, just as a warning, basically, that you got taken it a bit too far.
And as a goalie, do you feel like you're more risk to injury in university hockey, as obviously the enforcers aren't apparent? Do you feel like you're more at risk to injury with obviously loads of guys propelling themselves towards you?
Yes, 100%. I reckon that if we had an enforcer on our team, or someone, not even an enforcer, say, sort of a quasi-enforcer, I think that a lot of the sort of cheap play would be cut out very quickly, and I would be able to do my job a lot more effectively.
The thing is, when you get to that kind of level, the stuff you can watch and is accessible in the UK, there's always all the video cameras, all the footage, etc. They always go back and review everything, so nothing gets missed. So in that sense, the enforcer isn't immediately necessary to police things they would miss, the referees would miss immediately, but they will still chase what the refs miss anyway, if you get what I mean. So they're not essential because players will receive penalties and, you know, penances for doing things away from the referees that they can't see. But in the moment when they do it, they'll be discouraged from doing it in the future because the enforcer will step in and, you know, challenge that player or try and start a fight with them.